Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hello, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. YouTube, how are we doing? I think we are live. I think we are. I think we are. Let me check. Okay. I'm gonna assume that we are live. Hello, welcome to the chat. Today we're gonna have a wonderful drawing session together. And we're gonna be borderline with YouTube rules because we're gonna do a nude figure study, but you know, it's not really like it's art. You'll see what I mean. But I made a special change just for our friends and our YouTube overlords so that they don't get mad. Because today we're gonna paint this, we're gonna draw this wonderful drawing. Today we're gonna draw this wonderful drawing by Kenyon Cox, 1894, just study for a ceiling decoration. A wonderful, wonderful drawing, full of grace, full of elegance. And the thing is, I've altered here just so that YouTube doesn't flag the video, because YouTube doesn't get the difference between art and nudity. So we're gonna make their work easier by that. But don't worry, you have the real version. It's in the description below if you want. You go there. It's the Atelier Figurative Arts. You know the drill. You go there, you join for free. Timeless techniques for everybody. Patreon, Discord. And you can download the assignments. And there you go. So you can down this one, and if you want, you can do this one. Today we have 3 levels. 3 levels, because you see, the original artist, the master, did use a grid. However, the grid was not used, let me be clear, the grid was not used to just copy anything, but to translate the drawing on a bigger surface. And typically here, this was a study for a ceiling, so it's easier to have a grid if you have to transpose your drawing and put it on a ceiling. So with the grid, it helps. Right now, I think today, if I had to do a ceiling in this day and age, I'd probably choose a projector. I had a video about that like a while ago, like 2 weeks ago, I think. Or maybe it was the previous one. Maybe it was the previous video, actually. Well, time flies. But we talked about that. And you can see how the grid was put on top of the original, just to help upscale it. You can see also how this drawing is clearly a study, how there's very, very strong line weight, and this is something that we talked about in my own drawing that I submitted to you for a previous episode, a previous assignment, where you kind of exaggerate the line weight. Line weight being here, you see this kind of more like the line has been pushed more than needed for just pure realism, and technically lines should not be pushed this much if you want actual realism. But here it's a drawing that has a use, it has a utility. It's made so that it can be transposed and put on a ceiling, and then on the ceiling you can do the final things, the final adjustments, and correct this. There's a lot of exaggeration when you follow the line. But there's also a very exquisite work on line weight. Line weight is this. See how it curves inwards like that, and there's like it pushes and it gets thicker here. I have a hard time making it with mine. And then when it gets more, so this is when it recedes in the shadows. So it kind of mimics the side, the sort of turn of the shadows. Then when it faces more the light, the line gets thinner. This is called line weight. in the crevices it gets deeper, and on top it's lighter and also thinner. And if you follow along, you can download this file. You can really zoom in pretty closely, and you can see a lot of how this line weight works and how the artist used it. And also here, this is typical. This is both double use, very smart. This entire thing here, it indicates the shadows, so very useful, of course, for realism, and it also shows a very important line, which is this one, very crucial in the overall elegance of the whole. And also, I don't know exactly what this ceiling is going to be about, but there's probably going to be some drapery. And also, the thing is, during the prep drawing, you don't want to lose this line. You want to remember where it is exactly in case you need it afterwards when you do the painting, for example. So what you'll do is you'll leave it and you'll make it, you know, more prominent and more easily visible. So this line is going to be great because it's easy to see, easy to follow. And today our goal is going to be, you know, all right, let me change the cutter actually, so that you see something when I point it out. Let's pick this, pick this. Today the thing is going to be locating these intersections. These intersections are going to be the key, and then you're gonna have to, you know, remember these lines, right? You don't have a lot to remember, but you have to chop it off and you have to use the grid properly. Today I'm gonna do level 2, or at least level 1, and I'm gonna spend some time talking about the grid, because the last time I sort of you know, allowed the use of the grid as thinking, okay, it's going to be easy if people use the grid, it's much easier. Actually, people still struggle with the grid, so I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about the grid, how to use it, because it makes things easier but not easy. So a grid is not a magic solution, you still have a lot of work. Basically, a grid makes it so that instead of having to draw a single drawing as a big entity, you chop it off into small parts. So I'm doing this first, so you do this drawing only, then you focus on, you know, this drawing, then you focus on, well, this, there's nothing here, but focus on this, and you make it, you chunk it into manageable parts, and supposedly it should be easier, but somehow it's also tricky, because if you don't consider the whole as you do the parts, then you run the risk of having, you know, elements that, you know, one square goes like this and the other one goes like this, and you have a big disconnect between the two adjacent squares because you didn't treat them as part of the same, you know, unique whole drawing, you know. So that's what we're going to be talking about, how to connect the grid, how to work very with like kind of little tricks to find out where you should be with your lines in the grid within each square, and also how to never lose sight of how the squares should be articulated together, and they should work together to form a whole. That's the thing that we're gonna be talking about today. But hello, let me say hello before we do that. Let me say hello to the good people of YouTube. Hello, Techno Dad. I'll be streaming on Twitch at the same time for those who want the horizontal version. If somebody is here, I'll be on Twitch again at the same time. So hello Twitch, let me just check it at the same time. Hello to everybody arriving at the same time. Hello to everybody. Yeah, arriving. Twitch is running. Hello to everybody. Yeah. Twitch is running. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's go. Is the Twitch stream supposed to be going simultaneously? Or do you stream on there at another time? Yeah, I'm streaming right now if you want. You can go. Like, typically I have like 2 viewers. So you can be one of those lucky too. Like, typically I have like 2 viewers. Oh my god, this is what you hear. You can be one of those lucky too. Like, typically I have like 2 viewers. Oh my god, this is what you hear. You can be one of those lucky too. Oh my god, we're stuck in a loop. Where do I get my chat? Hold on, okay. Pop out chat. This is what I want. I want to accept the terms and conditions, and that's all. Okay. Psychedelic. Looks great. Okay, I'll see you on Twitch then. The crowd is there though. Like the people to interact with are there. So yeah. Amsterdam here. The shadow is amazing. Yeah, I really like this, the elegance of this this drawing, by the way. We're gonna do today. Find it really wonderful pose. Made me think of the pose in Titanic, like, you know, the drawing like one of your French girls. Made me think of that. Okay, let's do this. Unfortunately, the drawing dimensions are not ideal for my screen. So for multi-streaming with vertical and horizontal at the same time, really not ideal. But let's try to do it. So let's talk math. Let's talk numbers. This paper is for, I'm gonna talk real units, and I'm gonna talk real measure units. I'm gonna talk centimeters here. So I don't know what you use, but I don't use inches or foot, whatever. Like, no, thumbs. You do use what you want. I use centimeters. So this is 42 centimeters. This is 29.7. And I've got, I counted 12 squares horizontally and 9 vertically, at least 9. Well, just a little bit on the 9th here, and just so little on the 12th, but still, they still need to be there, otherwise it's going to be cropped. So I measured, I divided the proportions, and I found that I need to make my squares 3.3 centimeters each if I want to have something that fits my drawing. So let's do that. So 3.3, I'm gonna do my grid, and I'm gonna try to use lines. I'm gonna try to apply light lines, and we're gonna use the grid. And it's gonna be kind of a grid lesson, mostly grid lesson, how to draw using a grid, because I kind of hello. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Yeah, I kind of went too fast last time when I suggested to use a grid to, you know, make it easier. Like for some of you, even with the grid, it's still hard. So I'm gonna try to do something about that. So 3.3 let's go. Maybe I hate using this. Maybe I'll do that. I like using my little compass here. Works great. Actually, I'm gonna use another one which is even tighter. Something that I made with chopsticks. And when at first I like just a little how do you call this? Wing nut. 2 chopsticks. You kind of shape them into fine points, and you've got a 1-to-1 proportional divider. And if you want, you can make a whatever divider. Like if you just have to put the, you have to make two sides. But here, I never use proportional dividers, but I do use this to report measures. It works great, and I like that you can tighten it when you have the right position. So this is it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So perfect. Now 3.3, but I have to really stick to the top and back, top and bottom. Maybe the most boring video. Like typically I don't use grids, even for upscaling. I talked about how I have basically from the moment I start my composition, I sort of start with a very basic grid. So I really don't need to do this kind of stuff. Right, let's find out here. You'll probably see nothing here, but I'm doing important art stuff. If you can't see it, it's too bad for you. What practice do you think turned your drawings from good to great? Really focusing on observational instead of structural. And I think I talked about it yesterday. By the way, yesterday was great. We had our first Discord gathering with all the community. It was great talking to you guys. And I talked about it. I talked about how you have like... Yeah, both papers should have equal number of squares. Aren't you on Twitch though? I thought you were going to Twitch. By the way, I don't have the... Man, it's gonna be annoying because... Oh, you're on both, okay. I like this because this way I have more viewers on both. That's cool. Okay, let me... I want to do something about this. Come on. It's almost like you see more with the other camera. This will be better. Like this is how I should have my frame typically. Otherwise you don't see much. Just put this smoky paper. Thanks, Techno Dad. Alright, whatever. Like, it's just a blank paper. nothing to see, and I have to spend so much time, you know, carefully figuring it out. Otherwise, it's not gonna be perfect. I hope you're patient, because not much is gonna come from here. And this is exactly the reason why I don't do a grid ever, because it's just super tedious. And if it's your main way of copying your drawings, or even if it's your main way of drawing at all, I mean, poor thing. I pity you. It's just super slow. And also the grid, you know, it's always like imperfect in some way. It's never the perfect grid. It's always going to be some things that don't add up in the end. The last square is not good. Or you can try to draw it like an architect, but really, what's the point though? What's the point of art if you're drawing with measuring tools? So it's already effed up. I suck at grids because I hate them. I don't hate them as much as printers, but I hate them with a passion. Something's off already. It's already starting. Yeah, and really when I do transfer a drawing on my canvas, I don't bother with the grid. As I said, I prefer to make the drawing twice and, you know, go through the effort of, you know, making a drawing twice. I find it much more, you know, rewarding and fun, and way less boring than just doing a grid once. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, Cody, no problem. No problem. Self-promotion only in the dedicated channel, and English preferably, but if you write in a different language, please translate. Actually, I should put the... You're gonna get bored to death. You can observe the model while I'm making it, because otherwise you won't. While I'm making my grid, I let you observe the model, otherwise like it's going to be just so boring for you. But for this one, we'll use graphite. Graphite on off-white paper. That's what the name says in the database for the original. So we're gonna try to do the same thing. Even though we're not using off-white because I simply didn't have any. Alright, so I'm gonna probably spend an hour doing this grid. I want to make it right because, you know, that's how you're supposed to do. A projector is more efficient. Nowadays, yes, somehow a grid might still be useful, but yeah. And you can clearly see how the artist has used it here just for upscaling, because the grid doesn't, you know, go in the empty spaces, which like really means that it was not used as sort of a copy method for the original drawing. It was used, the drawing was done and then the grid was applied on it for upscaling to the ceiling, which is the final intent of the drawing. So we're doing things very differently from the master, and this is why the level 3 says that you should do without the grid, because the original drawing was done without the grid. So level 3 is do that without the grid. Yeah, we're just talking upscaling, because when you have to upscale a drawing on the ceiling, you use whatever tools you have at your disposal. Study for figure on ceiling of private apartment. So yeah, and I'm doing the grid here to demonstrate how it works, because I realized earlier by suggesting to use the grid that, you know, for some people using a grid is still something challenging. And also, it doesn't help if I'm only doing level 3s all the time. First of all, it doesn't help my own sanity because it's hard. Some of these level 3s are tough beasts and they're hard, so doing them all the time is just exhausting. And it doesn't help if I'm only showing like the hardest difficulty level, because some people need the difficulty level lower. Hang in there, yeah, I'm hanging there. Don't worry, but it helps. You know, like a grid is supposed to make it easier, so this should be a way more relaxing stream for me. You know, less training on the brain, less brain power required, because as I said, you can chop it off and deal with the drawing in small pieces. So you can, you have kind of focus zones. Each little square is like a focus zone. Don't forget to like. Oh, well, no, projectors can still have their use. It's just, yeah, if it's the only way for you to, make your drawings on your canvas, it doesn't have real use, because it's taking you away from learning the most important skills, which are the real drawing skills that you need. But if you need to really put a drawing on a big scale, like, let's say you have lots of tiny details and it's just too difficult, well, maybe a projector might be useful as a tool. I typically don't use a projector because I don't have large enough canvases that I need to project drawing for. But it's a time saver. Have I ever used camera obscura? Well, I do. It's called my Canon R10. It's a camera obscura in a way. But other than that, no. There's been a theory on whether or not, there's been a big debate whether or not Vermeer was using a camera obscura, whether or not Caravaggio was using a camera obscura, and you never know. Like maybe Van Eyck. It was a sort of a theory raised by David Hockney, which is notably talentless and has zero observational drawing skills, and yet he's supposed to be one of the top figurative artists. So let me just laugh a minute. And so he brought up this sort of theory, which is mostly based on Hockney's sort of premises that, okay, drawing somebody's face is difficult, so all of these, and I can't do it, me, David Hockney, so it means that all of these artists before were using some type of optical device, and it can't just be that I didn't train enough or that I'm just not good, and that they were good. So that's kind of the premise, and then he tries to prove it with very poor arguments, I think. But well, whatever. Okay, so we have a grid. Yay! Finally, it's there. And I would like to have a little focus somewhere, just so that I can show to you. I want to focus on one square, or just a bunch of squares. Right. So that you see better. Focus. Camera has a hard time focusing. Okay. Whatever helps continue. Whatever helps you continue being creative is great, even if you do use a grid. newsletter, email, and to draw so well you don't need to use a grid projector. No, it's not just that. It's the grid is so tedious that it is going to bore you to death, and it's going to discourage you to do more drawing. But we still need it. We still need to have this kind of in our repertoire of techniques. So we're gonna cover grids, but I really strongly don't encourage you to use a grid and to learn. Like, I think you should learn how to use a grid because you should learn all the techniques. Everything you can learn is good to take. Don't ever neglect something because you say, no, it's not my level, or I should be better than that, or this is cheating. Okay, I got my first warning from Twitch, so I'm gonna stop Twitch. Apparently Twitch sent me a warning for making art. Okay, whatever. We'll see how YouTube reacts. Typically YouTube is not like, they're not mad, they just demonetize. I want to draw along but cannot find the files. Just check the description of this stream. Check the description. Just fold the files. It's the Patreon file. Where are we? This is this one, so it's going to be... Let me put the numbers. We have to talk numbers here, friends. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So my drawing is going to go from here, 10 here. The foot is going to be there. The hand is going to be somewhere here. And right there, I'm there. 6. What do I have in 6? Oh, perfect, the nipple. We're going to draw this and see how they react up there. So 2. So I know that around 2 in here, so the belly should be here approximately. 6 is where I have the belly. Here is where I should have my belly button. 7 and here 8 is where the leg is starting to jump like that. Okay. Right, now let's dive a bit further into the technique. Not a warning on copyright. Twitch send me a warning on sexual content. Like, I remember back in like a couple months ago, they were allowing people to do some absolute insane stuff. So what you want to do with your grid is, once you have, like, you know, you have sort of found approximately where things should be, which square a point should be, you want to try to find some intersection lines, some key intersection lines. And then you want to wonder on this entire thing, how am I? Where am I exactly? What is this compared to this entire length? What is this? What would you say? Is it like, so this is half, This is less than a quarter. So this is half, quarter, quarter. So it's just, I can do that. I can do half, quarter, and slightly below the quarter is this, and at least the quarter is going to indicate where the top of the breast should be. So I'm going to notice that. In my head, I notice this. So now I go to my paper and I try to locate this point. So I'm in square, between square 5 and 6. Okay. Square 5 and 6. So this would be, oh. Let me try to show you something. Okay. Okay. So between 5 and 6. Now this is half approximately. You know, do approximately. If you want, you can measure, but I wouldn't bother. This is quarter. No, this would be a quarter. This would be a quarter, so it's slightly above the quarter right here. And the quarter is, breast should be almost there. And then what you can do is you can also follow the shape. So here I have one key intersection. I like to remove these marks now because they're just annoying. Now I have one key intersection. I'm going to start with this. What I like to do now, I could very well just repeat and just use point, and at the end, when I have all my coordinates, just do, you know, connect the dots. What I prefer to do, because it's more drawing like, it feels less mechanical. What I prefer to do is, now I'm going to try to follow this shape. And I'm going to try to, you know, follow this here. Not so hard. It's basically a sort of slightly curved triangle. Approximately. Okay. Now I have another one here. Can you see it? I've got another here. So let's check this one out. This is measuring more than his art, but you know, useful skills. Useful skills. I've got this entire length. I would say the middle is here. It's slightly above the middle. Okay. Back to my paper. This middle, slightly above the middle. And you connect. So it's a triangle, slightly curved upwards. Okay. We have one. We have one line. Oh god. And then you do the same, but we're not gonna go super mechanical and just do only that, because after we have a couple key squares, we're gonna try to have a more organic approach and use the grid still, but past a certain point, we'll use the grid mostly for to check the various measurements, but we're gonna, you know, follow our instincts and use the grid only for checking. Before I was good enough to just draw by eye, I used to literally measure out coordinate place. Well, this is a good strategy. Like it allows you to really copy the drawing like a machine. However, this is a sort of skill that doesn't translate to normal drawing. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to locate a couple strategic points around. And then we're going to try to follow our instincts for most of it. And then we're going to try to just use the grid as a sort of a checking method, verification of placement. But we're going to try to never measure. We're going to do the most measuring we'll do is like half of this, half of that, because measuring in halves is still something that might be useful. Like maybe you see, oh, this the mouth is halfway between nose and bottom of the chin, so you might want to measure this kind of stuff. But measuring with centimeters and all, like in real life drawing situations, is not something you use that much. Like you can ban rulers from your studio. You'll be fine. I like, seriously, like rulers like that with measures, like they might be useful but in most of your art sessions you can ban them and just get something straight with no measuring, because it's the same, it works the same way. Like you'll find something straight to draw straight curves, straight lines, sorry. But the measuring is not something we do a lot in painting, in traditional art. We do measure a lot. But we have other techniques. Like, you know, this technique, you know, this is comparative measurement. And by that, you say like, okay, this is half of this measure, something like that, half. So we do measure a lot with, you know, halves, quarters, doubles. But we never do that. Okay, this is 5.73 centimeters. No, this is not something we do a lot. And this is why the grid is so unnatural, and like past a certain point you can forget about this technique and use it only when you really need it. The link was sent by email, but it doesn't appear. I don't know, there's a problem with my Patreon links. Hold on, I'm gonna check this out. Is it better to choose? Yeah, exactly, yeah. It would be much better to use just a few plumb lines. Because a few plumb lines, like one plumb line is like typical. You can use a plumb line, even like you can have a model sit for you and you can have a plumb line, an actual plumb line between you and your model, even a live model. That's perfectly doable, and you can have several of them. So basically a plumb line is like an emaciated grid. With just one, but you can have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point line plumb lines, and they work like just a grid but with only the vertical. What are French curves? Sorry, is it a problem that I'm French and I don't know? Let me see. Is there a problem with assignment 8 post? Sometimes it messes up my stuff with the collection. I have to always double check the collections because sometimes it doesn't save the new assignment in the collection. It's weird. Yeah, okay. Atelier assignments, I have 8, so it's... I think we're up to date. Yeah, we are up to date. So the playlist, they called collection. The playlist or collection is up to date. Yeah, sometimes I have issues with the uploads. Strange. Okay, so let's find a couple key points. Where would you say are some main key points? You want to find intersections. So let's hunt for key points that might be useful. So we're gonna try to find a lot of... Let's be strategic. And let's try to find more key points around the area that's more difficult. So we want to find... let's say I want to find this one. Here. This one here is going to be useful. This one and this one, both. This one. This one. 1, 2. Here. We'll do this. It's not exactly intersecting, but it's important. We'll do the eyebrow. We'll do this one. We'll do this. We'll do this, we'll do that. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. This one. This one. This one. This one. We'll try to find this here, this here. Then we'll try to do the leg freehand. We'll try to evolve into something more, loose as we go. Let's do that. Let's do that. So what you want is you want to not have hesitant lines. You want to have strong lines, but you want to have sharp lines. And you want to make them sort of chopped off. You want to stay away from curves. You want to stay away from any form of sinuosity. You want to try to be as geometric as you can. This is something in observation drawing that a lot of people don't get. It's like you're working from observation, but you want to simplify what you observe first. And you do that by tracing lines like that, like chop, 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 chop. Like imagine that it's a kitchen knife. Chop, 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 chop. And the more little segments you chop off, the clearer your drawing will be. Okay, so this one, actually I might need to check this one. So here I have a doubt, so I'm gonna check it. Let's see. So this would be the middle, slightly below the quarter. Okay. Something doesn't add up. Yeah. starts here though. So. And I'm simplifying. Chop, chop, chop. See, I stop to take a measure and then I'm simplifying. Cut it up. If it's all curvy and wavy, it's not right. It's not what you want. French curves are used by architects. Have them. Well, this is not typically something you'd use for traditional drawing. So here we have... Because ultimately you don't want to rely on your measuring. You want to rely on your eye. Just use the grid as sort of a little helper for... whenever you have a doubt, you go to your grid and you check it out with the grid. But most of it you want to make your drawing. You want to still keep your drawing alive. And don't forget, it's a drawing and you're not a copy machine. So this is going to be the difficult area where I have the face. Face is going to be around here. It'll be tricky. Oh no, I know. It's just, we do have like a useful tool like that you might use is a laser level. A laser level might be useful, like as I sometimes do use a laser level. It's very rare, but I sometimes use mine when I have a big project and I need to draw architecture, when I have like perspective lines to follow. So even if you're doing level 1 and just doing the contour, don't hesitate to really chop it off severely. Just draw like that. Does anyone know what's the origin of this drawing? It's written on it, so I don't know exactly the origin, but it's written study for a figure on ceiling of private apartment. I don't know. I don't know the final piece. I don't mind seeing it at any time. The good thing about using this technique is I can sit down because it doesn't matter that I don't have a proper viewing position. That's one thing that I don't like though about the grid is like the viewing position that you have is often something that I strongly encourage people to have a good viewing position. You want your model and your drawing to be next to each other in a nice, comfortable viewing position. You want to be standing up so that your head is not moving all the time like that. The problem with sitting down is like you're kind of hunched like that, and your head is always like, every time you look at your model, you do something weird like that, you know. Oh, where's my model? Okay, where's my model? Okay, it's very unnatural, and this, like, I'm exaggerating, of course, but you want to look at your subject and your model with just your eyes, without moving your head. Like, you should have them both in your field of vision without moving your head at all. And with the grid, it doesn't matter, because like whatever, your grid can be on a piece of post-it note, and the idea would still be the same, principle would still be the same. And the fact that people sometimes do use a lot of grids in the beginning of their drawing journey doesn't encourage good viewing habits. And you need those good viewing habits, because seeing is actually not as simple as you think. And you need to put all your chances on your side. Otherwise, you're just gonna make your life way too hard. I recommend drawing on an easel upright only, 90 degree, flat, 90 degree. Why? Because, have you ever wondered how much brain power it takes your brain to translate visual information that is observed in perspective and then put it flat? So your brain has to do some absolutely massive calculation for perspective. Try to do it. Like, you know, we've all seen the projector. You can actually set it up so that you can put it at an angle, and you sort of there's some projectors, they have an option so that you can change the, I don't know how they call it. You change the angle of the light rays, so that even if you're at an angle compared to your white surface, the image appears flat and proportional. Well, your brain has to do the same stuff. It has to translate some information that's distorted, put it back upwards, and remake it. It's not a word. Then put it back on the paper in a crooked manner with a distorted perspective. It forces your brain to do so much more work that it doesn't need to, because there's already tons of very complicated stuff. If you want to deal with complicated stuff, you have plenty to deal with. You don't need to do that background task that's going to just completely burn all your brain power. And some people say, oh, it's too hard and all. Like, just put your drawing flat. And I know it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. Look at this. Look at this. It's like goofy. Who draws like that? Now everybody wants to draw on a table, a nice, slightly inclined table. More convenient. Feels better. Well, if you want to draw from observation, you have to be prepared to be observant. If you want to draw on on an inclined surface, no problem. Just know that you are going to need a structural method. But if you want to draw observationally, so draw what you see, you have to put it flat. It's going to, well, at least while you learn. Later on your brain will just become super powered, and it will just not care about distortions anymore. But as you learn, you want to do that. So yeah, observation drawing, gosh, you need to put your drawing flat. And I know, it's complicated. because it's not comfy. Drawing is not a comfy activity. You know, if you're seeking comfort, you have to draw a different kind of style. Sorry. And the thing is, because of a lot of, you see a lot of draftsmen, even, architects, we're talking about architects, they all draw on a drawing table, an inclined table, slightly inclined. But the thing is, they are all using structure. And if you use structure, sure, you're using structure as the fundamental element in your art. And when I'm talking structure, I mean like the Loomis method, stuff like that, where you start with a shape, and then you do that, and you do that, and you measure, and then you do that. This is what I call structure. You're gonna build a structure. So you start with a bunch of shapes that you don't observe, but that you make out the structure. You kind of start with the scaffolding. You build your drawing on top of it. You're gonna have measurements, and you draw like that. This is structure. Well, if you draw a structure, you can draw upside down for what matters. If you draw observationally, you want to draw exactly what you see, and it gets tricky because you don't know what you see. And if you think that you know how to properly see, well, you're wrong, my friend. Just if you draw enough, you'll realize that you don't know what you're seeing most of the time, and that most of the time you're guessing. But your brain doesn't make it easy for you, because your brain knows. It knows everything, but never really wants to let you see things. See things for what they are. And when you start making art, you have to see things for what they are exactly, and focus purely on the visual appearance of the things, not what they're made of, not what they're used for. And your brain doesn't like that, doesn't like to not be in control. So when you start making art, you realize that all this time you thought that you knew how to see, because you thought it was just something like you don't have to think about it, you just do it. Oh no. Most of the time your brain is not seeing the world, it's just interpreting how to deal with the world. How can I use this thing? What is this used for? What is this? How can I conceptualize this? That's what your brain is doing all the time. Not what is this shadow shape? How far the nose is from the eye? How much distance is there between those two shadows? Your brain doesn't care about this stuff, and rightly so, because it's useless. I usually wiggle my lines into place. What do you mean wiggle? It can be a good thing or not. If it's something like that, it's fine. If it's something like that, it's not fine. Well, it's because your drawing class is not properly done. Your model should have I don't know, a podium of sorts. It should be eye level, or at least in a not uncomfortable position for you. Well, it might be Ryan. Yeah, there's a nice curve here. I'm gonna chop it off. Here. It's a nice curve. It's like nice curves everywhere, but you want to deal with curves as a sculptor would deal with curves as well. You want to first chop off a big block, and then you chisel nicely, and the more you chisel, finally you go and you take your eraser and then see I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna zoom in because I think it's very revealing and important. I'm gonna try to illustrate that again. Sorry, I need to refocus, but I want to zoom in. Let me find something with here. How you deal with curves is there's a nice, very nice curve here in the knee, but you do that. See? Then you do it again, you chisel again, chisel. Take your eraser, remove the unwanted bits, and there you have a nice curve, right? Again, because this is just so crucial. First thing you do, you locate the sort of origin points. So my curve will start here and go here. It has to travel all this way. But I'm gonna just follow the angle as it starts. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Whatever, however you need. This thick, heavy line. Then you reevaluate your curve. Is it right? Does it look okay? Does it look like a nice simplified version of my curve? and then you clean it up. And you chisel it nicely and polish if you want in the end. Let me show you how the artist did it. Same thing, look at this. You see how it was chopped off? You can see it right there. I'm not lying. See? See this line? See this line? How it bulges up like that? He used exactly the same method. Because it's the best method. Otherwise I wouldn't be talking about it. Look at these are clear signs that this method was used. Typical. And a lot of people think, well, this technique is going to be less, spontaneous, less, artistic. No, because in the end you reach the perfect curve, the saw coveted curve. You get it in the end. It's just you get it after, first chopping it off in multiple bits. This is also a clear sign. And see how the line was reworked with the eraser, bringing variety and weight. So you don't really have traces of big squishy lines like wiggly or stuff like that. Sometimes I see people do that. Man, I hate it. No, that's not how it works. See the elementary lines. For all the body parts, it makes for more accurate. And for everything, for drawing a pear, for drawing a pumpkin, for drawing a vase, draw whatever you feel like with this technique. Okay, let's check another technique, by the way, because, well, I'm thinking about something. If you're talking about technique, it's always good to learn more techniques, right? Sometimes you can find alignments. When you imagine that we don't have a grid, we might find some nice, useful alignments. So I'm looking for some. For example, here and here. They seem to be aligned. Okay, no, they're not. But you can, you know, find vertical alignments. That can be also a good thing. And if you can't find the alignments, what you can do is you can, you know, you can trace the lines without the grid. Let's say, okay, I'm gonna take this top part here and see if I trace a line like that, where does it intersect? Okay, here. So you see, you visualize this alignment. And why am I talking about this? Because this is a technique that uses the same sort of visual cues that we use in a grid, but you use it spontaneously. And then what you can do is you can take a little ruler like that, and you can check the visual alignments yourself by doing this. For example, here in my case, I check that I see that on my own drawing, I have a problem with this part. These are not aligned, and I know I trust this one more because I measured this one. So this one is not aligned. So the top of my leg here should be lower. So it's a nice indication that something is off in my original. This leg is too thick. So I check this alignment here. You didn't see, but you can check this alignment. You can check, you know, most of the time with figures, what you would do is you'll check probably the alignment of this hole between the clavicles, because there's always a nice point, nice steady. You can do the belly button, but it moves more than in a live model. It moves too much to be really useful. So aligning your clavicle point with other features might be useful. And this uses some sort of the same, you know, principles and ideas that we use here in the grid. But it's stuff that you might use even when you don't have the opportunity to draw the grid. Clavicle is a silly word. I didn't create it. Right, let's move on. Let's continue. I'm sure people won't believe me if I say that I'd rather do drawing twice than do a grid, but really, just that I find it such a boring method. Supersternal notch. Here I'm using a 2B. I'm using a 2B for this one, but mostly because otherwise the camera can't see anything. I'd like an HB better, but a 2B works for this one. The grid was not 2B, thankfully. Try to avoid using something too soft for your grid, otherwise it's just gonna leave marks all over the place. But yeah, for me, I have some special needs with the camera. Really something that's visible. Never take a lot of distance. Well, I don't need it with the grid. Might do it out of a habit, you know. That's a really great hand. Gosh, it's a wonderful, wonderful hand. Oh yeah, that's the thing here. But you'll see as I'm done with most of my coordinate points and with the grid, I'll probably step back a lot more and I'll reunify everything. So we're approaching what would be the end of level 1. So we just have to finish with the most complicated, which is the face, the hands. But this would be level 1, just the silhouette. And if you can skip the face, by the way, in level 1. We're gonna do it, but let's actually zoom in for the face. Hello, Juan Francisco. You kind of need all these points here. Let me change it. Oh, sorry. You know, it tells you how annoying this this method is, though. When the most annoying part is what's supposed to be the easiest. It's not just that it's not that it's hard, It's not. It's just that it's super tedious. Yeah, it's not a technique that I hold dear to my heart, as you probably noticed. But, you know, every technique is good to learn. That's what we're doing here. What we're doing here oh yeah, drawing hands is... You don't have issues drawing hands, is that you're not actually drawing hands, you're drawing like a simplified version of the hand. Like a cartoon version, like you can, and even that is harder than the rest. Hands are challenging, that's all. Yeah, hands are crazy. You're not alone. It's another super important thing are the negative shapes. Negative shapes. Yeah, let's talk about negative shapes while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise later I might forget. Here, there's a good negative shape. In the case of the grid, sometimes the negative shape is easier to visualize than the positive. In this case, because it's smaller in the corner like that. In this case, this one is the easiest. So this is have a positive shape and a negative shape. This one is plus, this one is minus. It all depends of the situation. Sometimes the positive shape is easier, sometimes the negative shape is easier. In the case of a grid, you have tons of negative shapes, so make sure to use them. Here, for example, nice ski slope, blue colored ski slope, nice negative shape. Here, a little I don't know, triangle of sorts, and that's the type of negative shapes that you have with a grid. If you don't have a grid, you still have negative shapes. So you can use negative shapes. You can, you can find negative shapes here. This would be my negative shape. Maybe you can find some sort of an animal, like an anteater. See? So I can check now on my own drawing that my negative shape is the same. I'll check this. Yeah, alright. My anteater is almost the same, so I'm going to do this negative shape. And here I focus on this shape. Yep. Okay, so it works. So use negative shapes, that's what I was trying to say. Now let's go back to the face actually. Those are some glorious foreshortened hands. Just as a hand study, this drawing would be worth it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to spend more time on this one. This is a beast. Here, I'm using the negative shape of the hair. I kind of see a tornado here. Because this is a tricky area, so I'm using this. I kind of see it as a sort of a forward moving tornado. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So I'm trying to locate this. 1000%. Thank you. Wow. That's a nice match. The thing is, once you've seen the tornado, then it clicks in your brain and you see differently. You start to look for things differently. Oh, yeah. But here it's not super useful. Hi, hello. Yay, Nina, hello. Flipping upside down is more something you would do when you're kind of stuck and you know that something's off, but you don't exactly know. For observational drawing, here it's more kind of a structural. But yeah, indeed, you could do exactly the same thing upside down, wouldn't change much, but it changes kind of mentally. Sometimes when you're stuck, it can still be a good idea. And here you really have to, trust the grid. I can try it. Finishing upside down can be a good thing, actually, because it shouldn't make a difference. That's actually a very valid suggestion. It shouldn't make a difference with this method. Some people do the drawing upside down. This is more something that I do as an observational method. I'll just put my painting upside down and sort of try to check what's wrong with it. Here with the grid is like, okay, let's just run it upside down, and you can actually spot some unique things that you missed. So it's actually a pretty valid strat. Well, it does help. It does help. It doesn't help because sometimes your brain just gets stuck, and your brain is really stubborn in seeing the world as a collection of concepts and not as, a collection of shapes and lines and values. So sometimes it helps. It forces your brain to forget about what it knows and draw only what it sees. Sorry, I messed up my entire camera setup. And can be useful for the head, because it's very much a part of the drawing that your brain is very stubborn into. Like, the brain just simply doesn't want to conceptualize a face like that. So like it's, if you could hear crying, my brain would be saying, no, don't do that. What is this? because it looks very normal. So it's this abnormality pushes you out of your comfort zone, the comfort zone of your brain. It sort of forces your brain to look for different kind of cues than just, you know, the habit of looking at faces. You can't just trust your old habits. But let's do it. It might be fun. It might be fun. Let's finish this. Finish this upside down. It's just that it's in a more awkward position for me now. Okay, so let's check it out. So I have to take it more seriously now. Actually. So it's legit. But I also see things slightly differently. I don't know what this dot is in the middle of the face. I think it's maybe a stain or something. Very strange. There are no signs of damage anywhere else. Just this big dot in the middle of the face. Very weird. Hey Benji! Could be a birthmark? You think? Well, I'm gonna use it, by the way. It's still useful. Maybe it's just a sort of a useful mark. Useful mark that's used for construction. Making it even more interesting? Yeah, probably. Used to be fashionable, I think, at some point. Well, it can also be a paint stain. This prep drawing was probably used to paint a ceiling, so it's not impossible that a drop of paint dropped from the ceiling. Not impossible. It does look dry though. It doesn't look like it's a different material. I don't know. Yeah. Problem in this elbow here. I'll finish the face and I'll check out the elbow afterwards. Okay, so here, what I do have. Okay. Tell me if you see it too. You tell me if you see it too. You tell me if you see it too, because I see an alien trying to eat a giant rat. Elephants? I don't know, in my head it was just some sort of rat and the alien is trying to eat it. Okay, I'm weird. But now, let's actually try to put this in our drawing, because we have a nice shape here. Very nice shape. It actually almost touches so this is the head of the rat and the tiny try it at home. Guarantee that you'll find something interesting in it. It has a tiny foot, but it's been turned upside down because the alien has been pretty brutal. So the alien has a okay, no, the alien's face is bigger. The leg, the head of the rat is smaller. I know it's very confusing and all, but mostly about the visualization. This is serious time. Drawing this alien is not easy. Well, let's check it out. I'm gonna turn it upside down and we'll check if it worked. Because I just drew based on this shape. Okay, it's not exactly right, but now I can correct. No, not this. This one. Still looks like a face though. We do have proper, you know. So now I'll need to put back in the right orientation. I'll just finish it. Yeah, the nose doesn't have the right size, so my alien's face is not properly designed. But now I'm going to put it back in the right orientation and finish like that. It's a nice visualization technique. Makes the mole an alien moon. That's why. So that's why. The face of the rat starts lower. Yep. It works. Now, after you've seen it, once you've seen it, it works. So the mole is here. You have a hard time finding something to paint? Wow, we'll have lots of exercises. with free models. One new painting model every week. No excuse. Actually, I think I'm gonna just do level 1. I won't have time for more. That's already super hard. It's very time consuming though, because I spent a lot of time doing all the grid and the explanation. Hey Chemo! Oh yeah, never underestimate level 1. It's like in Dungeons and Dragons, level 1 is actually treacherous. Wow, thank you for the membership job. Being generous, gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I want to see some GGs in the chat. How does it work? I never knew how it worked. How does it... You can buy gift membership so people can claim the membership. You buy it to somebody, or is it... Well, thank you anyway. Thank you, Job, for the 5 gifted. This is the first time we got 5 gifted, so I don't know how... What does it do? It's the first time I have them. But thank you so much. I'm gonna try to figure it out. What am I supposed to do with them? I've gifted. Nice. Thank you again. Your generosity, my friend, has been tremendous. Very appreciated. What I could never figure is, are other people in the chat, what is the gift? Is it just a gift for me as the creator, or can people get a membership? I should check out with YouTube, see how it goes. No, the people get a membership. Thank you so much. And now you have a cool emote in your username. Ah, hold on, Cody. I ruined your fun. Okay. Okay, go ahead. It wasn't activated. What can I do?
Warning, emoji wall starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Oh my god.
3, 2, 1, go. Emoji wall unlocked. This is chaos.
Let's go.
Seriously,
Emoji
we
wall.
need to break YouTube with emojis. We have 1 minute. Let's go chat. We can do it. Let's go chat. Quick, spam emojis. We need to fill the screen. No time to waste. I'm serious. We have to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out. Hurry up. Quick, let's go chat.
Look at this.
We have to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out. No time to waste. I'm serious. Hurry up. Quick, let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's go chat.
This thing.
Hurry up. It ends in 5, 4, 3,
never gets
2,
old.
1.
Never gets
Stop.
old.
Emoji
Oh
cooldown.
boy. Emoji cooldown. Look at this. Look at this. Flying high. There should be a game where I can... It's not that interactive, but it could be fun. Like I would poke them, ding, 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 and get points. Ding, 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 ding. I'll try to catch them. There was a game like that, like, what was it? Even like on the original Xbox, I think, with a camera, and you were supposed to make goofy gestures. Could do it to level up. I would level up and to level 2 of the Atelier, yeah. Would be great. No, there's actually an actual cooldown code. You can't spam. It's been carefully crafted so that spamming is impossible. No, spamming is impossible. So how does it work? So does Leslie, you got to become a member? Thanks to job? You have to claim it, or did you get a member differently or separately? I seriously don't know how it works. Well, job, did you gift 5 more? What? This is insane. Unfortunately, we can't abuse the emoji wall, but you get this. You get what do you get? You get
Great success.
you get this.
Very nice.
I don't have any more fun stuff to do. Yeah, we have Vive la France. I can make a Vive la France, by the way.
de charisme.
Look at these new emotes. Wow, that's cool. People bragging with their new delicious emotes. Okay, so now is let's go back to let's go back to the drawing. You guys. But thank you for everybody joining. Thank you so much. And thank you, Job, Leslie. Thank you, everybody. Chemo, for everything you do. Thank you to all the patrons, by the way. We have some patrons here as well. And thank you for participating. Like, I didn't have time to really say it yesterday when we had the meetup, but it's like crazy. I never thought so many people would want to, you know, participate. And like the serious the seriousness, like the how much work people do, like it's very impressive. I never thought this would be like, I mostly, when I did this thing with the assignments, I thought, well, I'm gonna do them because, you know, at least it will make, you know, cool video ideas. I never thought people would be so into, you know, doing all the exercises. That's super cool. I was very surprised with how many people actually participate. And it's every time you participate, it's really, like, it really helps grow the community and grow what we do. And you grow as an artist because, well, you learn stuff. Always good, right? And for me, coming up with this system was also a great way to separate my you know, personal art that I'm working for and the streams, because sometimes when I was mostly doing my own, you know, my own art, whatever it was and whatever stage of advancement, sometimes it was kind of stressful because, you know, you're not necessarily sure of what you want to go for with your piece, showing it live and also possibly failing on it live, messing up somehow was always kind of risky, so kind of stress inducing. But working on these kind of little, you know, studies and assignments, it's much better because even if let's say I fail, I can explain why it failed. So it will always have instructive value and no real repercussions for me personally. I can still go and do my own thing in my studio every day. Don't have to interrupt my workflow with my own art. So this was also a big reason why I decided to go for this kind of content. As we said yesterday, it's a win-win.
Any ideas?
Maybe a win-win-win. Like, I win, you win because you learn. And, you know, everybody wins. YouTube wins because more educational content being created. And also this, I think, this thing we're doing it, like, we're the only one to do it. I don't have knowledge of anywhere else where you see this kind of stuff. I mean, for free on YouTube. Salut l'artiste, salut Mika Mika. Promoting art, not just promoting art, promoting beauty in everything you do. It's like, really, if I wasn't making art, I would try to pursue beauty in some different field. I wasn't doing visual arts. Probably try to become a poet or something like that. Pursue beauty by other means. I think I believe in beauty more than art, because when you see sometimes what they do with the word art, you're kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm not a part of this game. Like when they do like the trash, the excrements presented as art. Like, no, I'm not. This is not the same thing. I'm not doing this. This is not my occupation. I'm not. No, I didn't choose art to do that. So clearly whatever this artist is doing, and it doesn't matter if it sells for millions, I don't care. I don't want to know. This is not me. We do completely different jobs. So I'm in the pursuit of beauty and improving myself, improving knowledge, truth, beauty. I like to create beautiful things. Sometimes things that hurt, like sometimes in my painting you have like themes that are not easy, kind of brutal, striking, and sometimes
Your face is in the way, move dude.
Sometimes kind of you know, I don't know, I lost my train of thought, but as I was saying, beauty, I think, is what counts. It's a value that's been completely desacralized to give way to relativism and to the anything goes mentality. Because the anything goes mentality is much more lucrative. Like if you can justify that anything goes, you can sell anything. It's good. You can sell low quality stuff because, well, whatever, anything goes. To each, like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No, it's not true though. I disagree. Beauty is something that's not in the eye of the beholder. It's something that's in the eyes of the beholders, if you want, because it's something intersubjective. It's something that we share.
My name is Steven and I am a text-to-speech voice.
Hello, Steven. The dude has given 1525. What? How come? Dude, Job, stop this. Wow. Job, Joss, coming up with the most impressive 25. Going hard. I didn't even notice. Look at this. Everybody's a member now. I think you just doubled my membership numbers, like just out of the blue. I didn't have memberships, like I didn't have 25 before, I don't think I had. Holy moly, Job! Wow, my man. Incredible. You get the epic music. I can't program a nice thing that pops up on screen. I don't know why. For membership, it doesn't work. So I have to do it manually. pense faire un peu de contenu en français. Si je gagne le double de ce que je gagne et que je peux embaucher une autre personne, ouais. Pour le moment, c'est un peu dur. Ça me prendra vraiment beaucoup de temps. Mais après, là, il va bientôt y avoir des choses sur YouTube. Ils vont bientôt sortir un gros truc qui va pouvoir doubler tout, absolument tout. Pour le moment, c'est en expérimentation. Mais ça veut dire que ça va être une voix automatique qui va doubler, faire du dub directement, en essayant de copier un peu la voix, etc. Ça va être absolument incroyable. Et ça va arriver. Ils sont en train de bosser dessus. Je l'ai déjà entendu des vidéos traduites, enfin dubbées en direct. Ça sera massif. Bientôt. Patience. Welcome, it's deserved. Well, thank you for the generosity. You've been so generous, my friend. Attention would be great. Oh yeah. Maybe I can program something like a little... NANI? Maybe I could program you so that you get this sound effect in the chat, like you get... Hey! Or maybe this.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
Ah. Cody, how about that? I program a command
Hey, listen!
that says, hey, listen. Laura, hello Laura, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. Wow, the hype is real today. You launched a trend. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I don't have a notification. Like YouTube doesn't make a sound when I get a new member, and I can't program the sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna program something that will allow me to have a sound effect so that my mods can just how can I make this again? I need to make a new sound effect. I'm programming a new sound effect.
listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Okay, you probably didn't have sound while I was doing this. Just realized. By the way, I'm learning how to bake baguette. My man! You're gonna love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna put in my alert. How did I do that again? Okay.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Okay. Job has done 35 memberships. Gifted 10. Stop! Oh my god. Oh my god. And this is looped. But wow. The hype is just crazy today. I can't believe it. I'm out of words. Job. What is going on? We're gonna run out of people to give memberships to. Yeah, more members than viewers. Yeah, probably. Like, claim your memberships. Because I don't know how you do it, but you have to do it. Just claim it. So that job is and I've got 2. I don't understand what's going on either. Is I'm receiving gifts, and the community is receiving gifts actually. There is a black bar on top of the chat for me, and you can claim. The kids found a new toy. Pretty much. It's a selector to activate if you're in the prize pool, I think. We share the beauty of life, and yes, 2 children to feed. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's true. You can live from the sun and wind. We need to support him. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's right. That's right. Can't live from the sun and wind. I would love to though. Right. So I was hoping to make a listen sound effect. So bear with me. So, like, if you wanted to see art, I'm sorry. You're gonna be disappointed. Okay, so now I'm gonna make my sound effect, and I'm gonna make the command right now, and we're gonna enjoy the command. Make a new command. So it's gonna be listen. Everybody can do it, and the command is going to be !listen. Don't try it yet, it's not. Don't mess it up yet. Don't mess it up. listen. Now I'm gonna make it. Okay, so got a command. The command is going to be when you type listen. So I'm in my little command triggered. When the command is triggered. Then okay. All right. Let's go. Let's try. Type exclamation point listen and see how it goes.
Hey, listen!
Perfect.
Hey, listen!
Can you hear it?
Hey,
Can you-
listen!
It's for everyone yet. I'll probably put it mod only at some point. When it's annoying, you know, I can always choose who gets to do it. Like, and if somebody spams it too much, I can just go there and prevent somebody from. I have the list of everybody here. I can prevent each one of you individually from spamming. So I have my guarantees.
Listen!
Job going absolutely crazy. Welcome to tier 1. Wow. I tried it. Was it delayed? Maybe there's a delay for you though. The only problem is that I can't have a, I would love to have a sound effect for when I get the membership. I can only do that with super chat and not even super stickers, which kind of sucks. It's not ideal yet. This thing is not, my system is not optimized, but really it's not made for YouTube mainly, it's mostly made for Twitch users. Job going absolutely insane in the chat. It's crazy. Well, the hype is real. I have drawing books, drawing pads, charcoal, everything, but I'm having a hard time by myself. Almost afraid of the paper. A draw along looks like a fun way to get started. Well, join the Discord. And it's a fun way to meet fun, cool people. And yeah, you can draw along here with me, and you have the Discord, which is like, I'm just the tip of the iceberg, but really there's a lot more happening there and really, really cool people to meet. And some crazy good critique, community critique, nice words of encouragement. I mean, you have been doing, like, the Discord community has been doing such an amazing job at, you know, giving like constructive criticism. It's insane. Like, I basically doing my job, but I can't be on all the fronts, so I have people to back me up. And even you don't necessarily have to know everything about drawing and painting to give recommendation and suggest things to people, because, well, even as a beginner yourself, you've been through stuff, you've learned a certain way, and you've experienced certain stuff that you can just now give back to others who might face the same problems. And sometimes it's even better to be advised by another beginner, because, you know, a professional artist might have forgotten what it means to be a beginner, like I did, first of all, when I first thought that telling people to use a grid would be kind of a cheat code and would be just immediately easy. And that's why I'm using a grid now, to sort of cover up for my my failure to understand that even a grid might be tricky to use, and that it's not such a cheat code after all, because it's still tricky. And but this is what interacting with the community helped me realize. It's like this, it helps me grow so much as well, like to just talk with you live, or just read what you say on Discord. I don't respond all the time, but I do read. I do have a notification almost every time. I do read everything. Sometimes it's just I can't respond to all, but the conversations are very enlightening, Oh my god. Our man doing it again. Job with 10 more gifted. Oh my god. First of all, there's more gifted than viewers. That's official. Well, I do have more members than viewers right now. Well, 60 viewers. But man, 48 members, 48 new members, and 64 viewers. That's crazy. Job, you're a crazy man, but thank you so much. What do I have yet? I don't have any more epic music or anything. But I do think that we can have an emoji wall, because I think the cooldown is somebody check the emoji wall status. Cody, if you're still here. Well, thank you, Job. We're gonna have a nice emoji wall in your honor. You can probably deduct from taxes. Well, it would be a valuable way to encourage culture and art and all. Like, I get nothing from government funds, or so tax deduction for that would be would be sort of founding art. That would make sense. All right, so I think I might try. Cody's out, so I'm gonna launch the emoji wall myself. I think the cooldown is lifted. No.
Warning. Emoji wall starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Let's
2,
go.
1.
We
go.
have to have 2 emoji walls back to back.
Emoji wall unlocked. This is chaos. Seriously, we need to break YouTube with emojis. We have 1 minute. Let's go, chat. We can
everybody
do it.
Who has new, everybody who's got their new claim your rewards, your memberships,
we need
new
to fill the screen.
emojis.
No time to waste. I'm serious. We have to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out.
The craziest stream.
Quick, let's go, chat.
Ever since I stream, I've been streaming for years.
We have to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out. No time to waste. I'm serious. Hurry up. Quick.
Insane.
Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. Let's go, chat. Hurry up. It ends in 5, 4, 3, 2,
now it's time
1.
to try to catch
Stop.
them.
Emoji cooldown.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Well, what a great way to end the stream. I think I'm gonna end there. Let's talk about how you would end a drawing like that. So right here, I'm sticking to level 1. Now what you want to do is you want to, because it's still kind of, sharp, you want to, reshape the curves. So now you want to really refine, come back and reshape and finish chiseling this figure. But I have most of the shapes, up and in place. So that's what you want. And that would be level 1. So I'm gonna stop at level 1. Was mostly about the grid. I have 1 foot missing here, no problem. I would stop here at level 1, just the outline, just using the grid, and that's good exercise enough for just grid usage. So that's how I'm gonna stop here for the drawing. Oh yeah, you can't see the drawing, you can't see, but the horizontal sees. This is here, sorry. Got a camera problem. Yeah, So this is how you would finish. Okay, so let's do it again. This is how you'd finish. So because you have some, you know, kind of chopped off lines, what you want to do is you want to go around, just caress the lines, finish polishing them up, refine them, and then with an eraser you just shape them, shave them off, clean up, and you finish like that, and you have a nice outline, and with the grid only. So this was level 1. This was level 1. So this is it. I'm gonna finish on this note, not go any further for this one, but I'm gonna thank you for everything. Thank you, Job. Thank you to everybody else. Thank you to everybody contributing by, you know, posting your pictures, spreading the message, recommending the Discord to everybody, growing the community, and pursuing beauty. Thank you so much for everything you do. It warms my heart every day, and it makes sense. It all makes sense. Pursuing beauty always makes sense. So never let go of that. Never let go of art. Never let go of trying to make the best art you can. So that's all for me, my friends. Thank you again, everybody, and I'll see you for the next one. I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye bye, everybody.